Do you have any roadblocks or barriers that you've been able to overcome that you can share?
So from a roadblock standpoint, I don't know, are you specifically asking about in terms of the, you know, getting adoption or
Getting
what?
adoption, yeah, sometimes I see organizations struggle with keeping their data owners engaged or uh, making sure that participation continues to increase.
Right. So for us, I've really not had that particular challenge, but I'll tell you one area where I've been challenged. Um,
Yeah.
because we didn't have that enterprise perspective, and we have been so successful in eliminating data silos and getting everybody to trust and use the data in the data warehouse. The challenge for us has been working with our external partners. Like I mentioned earlier, we work with a variety of uh, software providers and partners that offer functionality that we can't build internally. It just makes sense for us to buy these tools. But then what happens is we have to work with these partners to take charge of our data assets, right?
Mhm.
So I'll give you an example. When several years ago we were switching vendors as far as our loan origination platform went, and we were talking to the vendors to make sure that we would get the data we needed in order to drive our reporting and our analysis, right?
Right.
um, and the vendors promised us, oh, you'll get what you need and all that, and our focus legitimately was to really make sure that we were serving our members. So we needed to be have the system up and running so that we could start accepting consumer loan applications, right? So that is the first priority. Data always falls behind in terms of being a top priority. And in this case, what happened after we got the system up and live, we're saying, okay, what about the data so that we can start looking at how many applications did we receive, how many did we have to manually approve, how many did we decline, etc. We started working with the vendor to start giving us that data, and they tell us we'll ship you a CD once a month. Like what? A CD once a month?
It's not going to
And
work.
it was about 5, 6 years ago. And, so that was truly a roadblock that we had to navigate.
Yeah.
And so that prompted me to work with our in-house legal team to come up with some language around what our expectations around getting access to data and, making sure that we had support around it. Sometimes they throw some data at you and they'll ask you to figure it out. There's no data dictionary, nothing that describes the data. So,
Yes.
so we worked with our legal team to come up with some boilerplate language that we could include in all our contracts. So that was a roadblock that was interesting. But in working with various partners across the company, we were able to kind of solve for that. You may not think of this as traditional data governance, but if it's about
Oh,
uh, adding,
third-party data is a challenge in a lot of organizations. It's
yeah,
definitely an
yeah,
area that needs to be focused on for sure. And I think
yeah,
that being able to bring that third-party data in with the proper definitions and
correct.
bringing it into the ecosystem is also very critical in being able to then consume it accurately. The other thing that I like to do with third-party data is bring the business to the table. So when I have a vendor with third party data and I'm struggling because they're not sending it on time, they change the format,
Mhm.
suddenly has all nulls in one field, it can really drag
Oh,
your
yeah.
capacity out of your organization. So now I'm bringing it in and I have it curated in the tool, and that business owner is aware of how much time we're struggling with this one vendor. So the business owner and the relationship manager start saying, "Hey, this is expensive data and it doesn't have to
Right.
be. So we need you to raise your game." So we've been able to watch people close that conversation. I think we could do a whole session just on third party data.
Yeah, in
Um,
this case, it is really not even third-party data. It's our data, right? It's first-party data.
yeah,
It's consumer loan application. So it's
right.
it's first-party data in that sense. So it just happens to live in a data silo that we can't reach because it's hosted in their systems. So, it's a SaaS
Yes.
application, it's hosted in their systems. And sometimes some of the SaaS providers don't realize, they think we are a credit union, we probably, would have laxer standards, but no, I mean, we are very data driven in that we want to get our data, make sure it's integrated with everything else so that we can truly understand what value we are providing to our members, etc. Right? So,
Right, right.